Hello. Hey everybody. Hope everyone's doing alright. And time time for some more of that Curse of Strahd goodness. He said the goodness. All of the goodness. Alright, so let me get some music going. Does everyone have their Sirenscape ready? It's about to kick off.
Oh, Luke, forgot about that. I'm so sorry.
I should have checked before. No, I didn't check. I see a token that looks a little strange.
What? What token strange?
Okay. So, where are we at here? How's this? Can everyone hear this loud and clear? Wow, that was very strange.
Oh. I can hear the music.
Nice.
I can hear you. I cannot hear the music.
Yep, you're in the same boat as me and anyone watching.
Oh,
There it is. Okay, so let's get going. Last time, in the village of Barovia.
I'll just like it.
There's a bit of an echo as well, watch out.
Yeah, I don't know. My mic is pushed to talk, so.
Okay.
Goodbye, Emil.
So, anyway, last time in the village of Barovia, you woke up from your long rest in the house of the Burgomaster, and some of you had a different night's rest than others, but you went out into the village and you walked up to the north to the church where the previous Burgomaster's body was lying in state, prepared and waiting for its burial by Father Donovich. And you walked up there and the ceremony started with the mist wrapped around the gravestones of the graveyard in the back of the church, up hard against the forest and the pillar stone that stretched up and up to Castle Ravenloft itself. During the funeral, another figure came to pay their respects, and getting curious, a couple of you walked over to see what they were up to. As you did so, they were surrounded by snarling, dangerous-looking wolves. But Xenicus seemed to scare them off without so much as brandishing a weapon. On approaching the figure, Xenicus hailed him, but not before he heard in his mind the screams of hundreds, no, thousands of screaming voices. And the figure passed on his condolences and the kind words of his master, and gave you a letter to pass on to Irina, the previous Burgomaster's daughter, before summoning a steed out of the very mist itself and galloping off with the wolves close behind, thus returning Asara's new accessory back to its leathery form, and no longer in its soft, supple tongue form.
Put it back on.
So now I will wear it again. Yes. The rest of the funeral finished without further events, and poor Ismark stayed behind so that the father and he could talk about their memories of his father. not to be confused with the father and his father. Sorry, the priest, should we say? It's a bit more clearer. But this was in fact somewhat of a ruse to give you time to go inside and investigate the hideous cries of what you had found out to be the priest's son turned into a vampire spawn in a ill thought out foray against the castle. You found a way down into the undercroft of the church and found the wretched beast huddled in the corner. At first you tried to talk, take pity, almost try and think what was, trying to find out what was going on, but the creature, starved since it had been turned, was too hungry for blood and leapt upon the ceiling, scuttling across, defying gravity and leaping down to attack you. The fight was going okay, but the creature seemed to be able to suck your blood and its wounds seemed to be regenerating until the tide of the battle was turned as one of your members started to convulse, and there was the sound of cracking bones and snarls, and Xenagos transformed into a vicious werewolf. Although, thankfully, still fully on your side, it seemed, as he tore into the vampire spawn and helped you finish it off. You climbed back up to the church to be confronted by Father Donovich, the priest, and he seemed distraught, yet resigned that it had to happen. And he went to pray to the Raven Queen, or the Mother of Ravens, as he refers to her. As you left and made your way south once more, hurrying back without any time to discuss what had just happened below, and with your local friend here, maybe not the moment to talk about it, you hurried back to check if Irina was okay at the house. Meanwhile, the priest, deep in prayer, did not notice the two shadowy figures, the two Shadokai that Vanta had seen in a dream.
Oh, I saw boys! Yeah!
Stepping through the shadow crossing. As they emerged from the shadows between the crypts and graves, glanced through the window, and seemed to teleport in a flurry of mist and feathers into the church itself.
Oh boy.
The priest referred to them as Blackwings, and they chastised him for allowing the vampire spawn to live as an affront to their queen. They told the priest he knew what had to be done. And Father Donovich, a resigned look on his face, nodded, stumbled to his feet. And as we left the view out of the church, we heard him toll his last. Now, where are we at here? You are all rushing back to the burgomaster's house in the south of the town. Is there anything you want to talk about on the way?
So I'm definitely, Asara's definitely going to be like, huh?
The burgomaster is with us.
I am so sorry. I can't.
Oh, he's asking if it is.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a good point. Is he
Can I
Yeah,
with
I'm getting
us?
very bad lag, it seems.
A bit, yeah. That sounded better though.
Can I make a perception check?
Indeed.
I just want to see if we're being followed by any shifty individuals. I rolled not super well. That perception is 14.
14.
Lower than
The mist and the rain clings to the buildings as they hunch over the road, but you do not see sight of anyone out in this inclement weather. So, Asara, what was that again?
Is the Burgermeister with us?
Yes. He was leading
And I won't say
the journey back.
anything.
Yes. Wait for a moment. And so yeah, you make your way through the streets and arrive back. The now familiar ritual of knocking and confirming with Irina that it is you all allows you back within, out of the rain, and back into the relative warmth of the house. And the brother and sister step to each other in the hallway. Irina clasps her brother's hands. Is it done? Yes, sister. Our father is at rest in the family crypt. And you just, it seems like a weight is just lifted from her, and she's like, thank you. And she turns to all of you. Thank all of you for helping us. But her brother turns. But we will thank you even more when you have helped us get Irina to safety.
So many favors.
We are still in agreement?
Can I just have a quick clarification?
Mhm.
What was our arrangement again with them? Are we just doing this for free?
They said they'd pay us what we could, but we haven't
they
agreed
could,
on
yes.
the price.
Okay, cool. I'm
Yes.
just checking. Cool. So at that point Vanta would just say, if possible, I would like to forego any kind of payment for myself in particular, just for myself. I'm looking specifically for one kind of treasure, and in return for giving a favor to you both, I would request a favor in kind. Just so that we can discuss.
If it is within my power, of course. What is it you seek?
I am looking for a staff of priceless amber.
A staff of amber.
It would be quite magnificent.
Sounds it. And Ismark kind of furrows his brow and looks perplexed. But I'm afraid I haven't heard of anything. Irina, you're a fan of the tales, the folklore of this land. She's like, I've read many stories, but I haven't heard tell of such a thing. Maybe if maybe in a bigger town, or maybe in the abbey? There's an abbey further over to the west, near Kresk. Maybe they have records? I don't know. The
Abby sounds like a nice name. What does she do?
no, an abbey, a religious institution, where priests and monks and nuns and the like come, live together and help the needy. And big church.
I see. Thank you.
Not at all. Your religions do not have such things?
I'm gonna pat his shoulder.
Craig looks like slightly dejected and like a little confused, but appreciative of the softball big church answer.
Yeah. And Irina says, I'm afraid the most extensive library, the biggest library is, she points up, in the castle. And that reminds Ismark of what's at hand. And he's like, yes, the castle that is looming over this very village as we speak, looming over your safety, dear sister. We must prepare you. We must prepare you for the journey. Please, all of you, see that you are ready to leave as well, as soon as possible. And he ushers Irina out and goes with her upstairs to help her get ready for the journey, leaving the four of you alone in the dining room.
I'm going to immediately turn to Xenakis and like
He's like definitely been hiding in the back.
Michael, it's not really bad. It's really bad.
Trying so hard. Like, at that moment when they were there, he was like, do you need any help? Oh, no, you're gone.
It's so laggy. It's
really bad. Michael, it's really bad.
Oh Michael.
Any better now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Much.
Yeah,
Sorry,
better.
just not.
Sorry, so sorry.
I mean,
I really want to see your face too, so I'm really sad.
Yeah.
it's a very attractive tiefling. It's okay. Said the man who commissioned
Can
it.
you get... I'll need to change it to the wolf for this one.
You should, yeah.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. What I said was Xenakis is definitely hiding in the background from that whole moment, and it's like when they were saying we need to get ready, he was really trying to offer help to like try and stay around them so that people, as soon as they vanish, he was just like,
Oh, dude.
oh crap!
Really bad.
This is how it turned around.
Okay.
Gone again.
We got that. We got that. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got all of it. It just started slowing towards the end. So, but I'm gonna like having seen all this, like making like being aware that Xenakis is like trying to be a wallflower and like get himself out of the way and stuff. I'm gonna turn to you with the joy of an older sibling who just found out their younger sibling's secret and be like, so, do you eat children?
Not at all.
Well, do you have friends that eat children?
Not to my knowledge.
How did this happen to you?
He's kind of looking nervously, like, because they've not gone very far.
There's no one for your concern is.
That's okay. You don't have to say. So, does Lady Morwyn know? Did you know? And I'm gonna turn to Craig and point at him.
So that Craig is going to do something no one in the party has seen him do thus far. He's going to land on the ground. He's going to walk over to the
He's
table.
walking. He's not flying. Oh my god.
pull a chair like away from the table, put it in front of this conversation, and sit down.
I don't think he knew.
And at that, he's really looking quite sad and a bit like apologetic, and he's like, "No."
Thoughts, feelings.
Well, if there was ever a time to reveal that kind of secret, I think that was the best opportunity. I think we probably needed the help. And I mean, I certainly was shocked, but it seemed that you were in control the entire time.
Yeah, how do you do that?
Yes. I've been trying to control. Yes. Well. Mm, it, it needed to be done.
Oh yeah, we don't care about the beheading. You had focus.
I would like to argue that he had focus beyond his transformation.
At the statement of we don't care about the beheading, Craig is going to laugh hard enough to and kind of throw himself back so that the chair kind of tilts back a little bit.
Careful. I know you're not used to it. Don't.
Like doubled over in laughter.
So does Lady Morwen know?
Yes. I guess not. Or I would be the number one suspect.
Good point.
She would have chosen you for a reason.
I mean, and then he kind of turns like, we are famous monster hunters.
So, would you say that this helps or hinders your monster hunting? I'm totally just like getting the goat, like wanting to prolong this as long as possible.
And he is hating every second of it. Well, I wasn't a monster hunter until this.
Really? So it opened up like a career avenue for you.
Or perhaps it was written, fated for you.
What do you know of this, Vanta?
What do I know of transformation?
No. What you just said, the fate. It was supposed to happen. What was that?
Well, funnily enough, everything is predetermined. Every route that we take is written for us. We just have to learn how to articulate it. The map is inside of us. We know very little about how it is read, but if you can figure that out, nothing is impossible. The journeys you can take along your personal path are endless. So this was written for you. You just don't know why yet, or where you've come from, or where you're meant to go.
Okay.
I can help you. If you
I'm
like.
living for this exchange.
With that cat. Sorry.
Just that moment.
Cat just.
See.
None of. And he's kind of looking at everyone, just staring at him, and he's kind of like, This. What? You. This isn't a problem?
No.
I haven't said anything yet. Sorry, Vanta.
I'm
just intrigued.
Krieg is like in a very like kind of like military grunt kind of way, like, you know, more swords can't hurt. Like, this is amazing. This increases our strength factors by insane amounts. I've never seen anything like this before.
It's a little sneaky. How do you keep such a secret? You seem to... You don't seem sneaky.
I think what she's trying to say is that you wear your heart and every emotion you could possibly have on what appears to be your sleeve.
I'm saying.
And on your face, and in your expression, and in the actions and the words that you say. Everything you do just screams Veritas.
I think your armor's absorbed it, to be honest.
I don't think you could lie to a imbecile child.
Sorry, I actually didn't get any of that because it lagged out.
Oh, the last of the Vanta said, oh no! I think that's why we just kept going harder.
Yeah, we were like, we're gonna lay into this.
Yeah, Vanta said, we don't think you could wear your heart on your sleeve. And then Asara said, yeah, you probably, it's like on your armor or something. And then it was like, I don't think you could lie to an imbecile child.
So the initial comment was, how can you like be so sneaky? How do you keep this secret? That was the original question.
And then we just kept going down. We think little of your lying.
And I mean, he's just generally like panicking at this moment. So he's like, any negative thing about him, he's taking like on the chin. He's just like, like he feels really bad. But he is well, moving constantly helps.
So how many people know?
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus maybe about 50.
50 people know your secret. It's not quite a secret, then. I think that's just knowledge.
Well,
are they dead?
Are they dead?
I hope not. They're the people who taught me how to control.
Hope is fragile.
As you say that, Xenicus, you hear a voice from the door. Irina's voice.
He definitely jumps.
Irina's voice. And is it under control?
Oh.
And you see,
he's staring daggers at everyone else. This is why he was panicking earlier.
She steps into the room, that rather fabulous-looking sword at her side, now in her hand.
Fuck off.
This is silver.
No, fuck off.
This is silvered, you know.
Fuck off.
No.
I said it 3 times.
I'm definitely standing in front of, like I'm standing in front of the puppy. That's what's happening.
You three do not know what you are dealing with here. You have not lived in this land. You have not been terrorized by monsters.
We're not from this land. Neither is he. How can you be certain he is of the same caliber?
That's why I asked. Is it under control?
The only person not under control here is yourself. None of us drew weapons. Clearly you couldn't.
Why not let him speak for himself?
I'm not stopping him. I don't like her.
Has like on Irina's like emergence into the room, has like could just thrown himself back in the chair and is like picking himself up off the floor and just in laughter, like choking back tears. And
You're a bad person.
he's like, if it means anything, Irina, I've been traveling with him for weeks.
Like, I think it's at least a month or two.
Yeah,
Decades.
over a month now, and I mean,
She perks up at that. She's like, over a month.
yes,
So you have been
Easily.
together. You have been together at a full moon.
It's your anniversary. No, I don't.
that would be that would be a part of the month. Yes, so
And
like Craig says,
just
no,
see-
he doesn't say that for Irina. He says it for himself, just to like check.
yeah, you just see her
Zeneca is looking at the floor.
her face lights up, and there's just a clatter as the sword just like rattles on the floor, and she runs over and she's like, oh, "What's it like?"
Craig just throws himself on
And
the floor
and
again.
she spins you around and like pulls you down by the shoulder, Xenicus, and like conspiratorially like huddles in with the rest of you. You cannot let Ismark know. He'll be terrified. This is fantastic.
I am so pleased. I like Asara's face is just like, yeah, like she's like, yeah, Xenicus, you can't let Ismark know. So tell us, what's it like? Just immediately in. This girl is my best friend. We gossip together. We have girl nights, and we need you to tell us now.
How much
He
does
is
it,
looking at the open door.
Vanta just leaves the room.
how much does it
Take the
hurt?
sword. It's my
How much
sword
does it
now.
hurt when you transform? There's the bones breaking, the skin
My sword.
stretching.
Is the door closed? Did she close
It's-
it behind her?
It's
I left
it's a
it
door.
open and I
It's a
did
door.
take
It's
the
a
sword.
doorway. There is no door in it.
Okay. I did take
Then
this.
he's at this. He's mouth shut right now because one person already overheard. He is mouth locked, like panicking, looking at every opening in this room.
And you hear
what?
you hear much less stealthy, clumpy footsteps. And Vanta out in the hall, you see Ismark coming down the stairs with a couple of bags, and some a traveling cloak like over his arm. Ah, Vanta, you're ready to go, and your friends?
Prepared. We're ready. Let's go, gang.
Just stares
And I
down
look
as far
at
that
the
is.
kid.
Is in the hallway. He's like, very well. Okay. And he goes over to the dining room doorway, and he's like, everyone. And Irina, you'll just stand up from your huddle, it's just like innocent as you like.
Zeneca is still on the floor, and Zeneca is still sitting down there, panicked about everything. Like, oh my god, what the hell just happened?
And Irina says, yes, you know, dear brother, I'm feeling much more confident about this trip. I believe you found the perfect people to escort me. And he's like, I knew that this first decision as Burgomaster would be the right thing to do. And she's like, yes, we must leave for Vallaki at once.
May we have just another quick moment to discuss something before?
The day is moving on. We must start your journey as soon as possible if you wish to make it to the town before nightfall.
I agree, but just
You'll already get no further than Sir Pool, the Vistani camp, before lunch.
You know that, of course, like after we laid your father to rest, that we have to discuss something quickly about that event. Like trying to play it as if he's trying to be subtle to the Burgomaster about what we did afterwards with what happened underneath, but without giving it away to Irina because he doesn't know if she knows.
Yeah. And he's like, very well. Irina, I'll tell you, I'll fetch you a wineskin. That Vistani stuff never sat well with you, and goes off. And he like fusses off towards the kitchen, and Irina spins round like a bit of a pout on. She's like, I can handle Vistani wine as good as anyone else.
Like, have they both gone?
Irina stayed.
He's still looking like, a moment, please.
Very well. I shall go and get my sword back.
I promise that you can ask a question later.
Oh,
An apology.
I'll be asking you plenty of questions when we're on the road. She spins around and in a bit of a skip in her stride, like goes out of the room. Vanta dear.
He heads.
Hello.
And
Are
we
you
go
recording?
back to Xenicus. Yeah.
Who's like, he's going to say to Sarah, it's like, and he kind of pats his chest where he put that letter. And
The
he
letter from
says,
the guest at the funeral.
Yes.
Mhm.
And he says, "Get Vanta to my room," and he's gonna like kind of give Craig the nod to head up.
I'll do my best, but I think you have a fangirl. It's gonna be hard to separate her from you. And then I'm gonna.
Hating all of this.
I'm enjoying so much.
Okay, so
Emma is enjoying this.
Meanwhile-
Vanta is like,
Michael is enjoying this.
in the corridor,
Mm.
Irina comes up. Oh, thank you, Vanta. I'll have that back now.
Are you done prodding him?
I didn't touch him. I was just taking precautions. Isn't it
shove it back at her.
fascinating? Thank you.
No, not
I'm just
particularly.
going to throw a couple of last things together, and then we can get going.
Okay.
Maybe, but seriously, I'm fascinated by this amber rod. You must tell me more.
If you can give me information on it.
I will help you. I will help you find it. I'm very curious myself. It's a story I haven't heard of this land. Is it of this land? Is it something that came from outside? They're both equally fascinating.
It is personal to me. I'll choose when I disclose more.
Of course. And you must tell me where you came from. You must tell me everything that's happening beyond the mists.
You say must a lot in your speech, and I don't think I actually have to do anything.
I didn't mean it like that. I mean, please, you know, it's an expression. Anyway, I'll see you soon. And she clunk up the stairs to head towards her room.
I'm sorry, Vanta just doesn't like her. But Emma is enjoying every moment with her because I love all of the strong boys. The strong ladies are my favorites. I'm so sorry.
Trust me, I have a scalpel too that is armoring me against PCs being antagonistic to NPCs. Care of your other character's brother.
It's okay. You can certainly try to get through her hard shell.
I will enjoy the challenge.
Mhm. Sorry.
Can I walk into Vanta's room now?
Yes. Into Xenicus' room, wasn't it?
Oh, I would have
thought
just
it
been
was
kind of
a
like,
Vanta.
yeah. Do you know what? I probably would have just been standing in a corner, staring into some shadows.
Gotcha.
The good life.
Hoping it's a shadow crossing.
It's like Blair Witch Project. You kind of turn around
Oh
and look at
Christ!
her.
Yikes!
I'm gonna. So I'm sorry, Xenicus. Did I mishear you? That I thought you told me to make sure Vanta came to your room.
Yeah. That is what happened. So
Okay,
when you
I
see
wasn't
her,
perfectly
she
glad.
turns slowly towards you.
Sorry to. And I'm gonna look around the room at the nothing you're staring at and be like, interrupt. But I think we're having a internal meeting.
I understand.
So
Lead the
shall
way.
we? And then I walk down the hallway with purpose.
Your hedge was showing in that
Wow.
walk.
I know. I immediately changed it. I was like, I walked down the hallway with purpose.
Anyway, yes.
while waiting, Zeneca says to Craig, is like, Craig, you have those magic little beetle thingies. Can they keep watch and alert if someone's spying and we don't want to repeat that?
I
Not
don't
not really.
think
No.
so. Not
Yeah.
Ooh, not yet.
Well, I guess I'll just have to my ears open. And like then I guess it's gonna be like while he's talking, it's like I think he's definitely gonna be near the door and paying a lot of attention to what's happening outside the room,
Gotcha.
using his keen senses,
Noted.
giving a good sniff around. But yeah, so he's gonna wait for Vanta and Asara to come.
Everyone arrives.
So, as Asara knows, you saw the guest at the funeral?
Yeah. A
It
drow,
seemed to
was
come
it?
from. Yes, he seemed to come from the lord of this place, as far as I'm aware, and he asked us to deliver a letter to Irina. And Vanta and Sarah and myself weren't sure if that was the best option, but and then he pulls it out and there's this like symbol of the raven like in wax kind of thing, and he's like saying this to Vanta, like kind of looking at Craig as well, looking for opinions. Like he didn't want to really break this seal.
Let me see if there's something I can do. Sometimes there is, not often, but sometimes. Oh! I wonder if I can do this.
You got that secretly opening letters spell.
No, I have something else, though. Okay, I'm just gonna check if this will work. I will need to do a long rest before I can do it, though.
It's more of a, I think they're expecting us to leave. And if we are going to give this to her, we should give it to her as soon as possible. But if we decide not to give it to her, then we have time.
I could destroy the rations so that we can't leave. I won't.
Good
That sounds like an
plan.
thing. I will save that.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Maybe
to.
that's another time. That's definitely put that one in the back pocket.
Okay. I am attempting to become more of a personable person. So I might slip up every now and again.
You're doing better than the evil wolf monster, so don't worry.
What I am trying to say is that I can prepare a spell which would help us understand what the effects of this letter will be. It needs time.
Can I do a perception check just to double check that there is nobody around listening in?
Of course.
And the spell I'm referring to is augury.
Okay.
And that is a perception check. And double checking. I think I get it.
I would also try and see if there's anything else. I wonder if aid can do anything.
Yes, relying on hearing or smell, I have advantage. Oh, good. So that is 22.
Okay. You do hear Ismark and Irina talking between themselves, not conspiratorially at all, just chatting. It sounds like a distance away that they're probably still in the kitchen downstairs.
So what's the consensus with everyone? Do we give the letter to her and pretend that we were just hiding it from her brother, or do we not give it to her?
Can I
We
still
don't know what the third mark could be.
Can I do a religion check on the bird?
Please.
That's all right.
Sorry, what was that, Sarah?
Because it's a raven, is there any chance I could get like some kind of advantage? Or is it not happening?
That's your religious your religion score.
Sure. I will pray for guidance as I read 1, 8 plus 4. It's only 12.
Okay. It's certainly not any symbol of the Raven Queen that you've ever seen before.
Can I cast detect magic on the letter?
Yes.
It's like a letter of invitation, isn't it?
So like, Krieg is gonna kind of just like carefully take the letter and just kind of move it around a little and
Meander
see
it.
if it's got any magic on it.
Okay. You gently hold it and focus, and you do not sense any magic from it.
Well, I don't feel any magic coming from this, so
Look, we don't know what the third mark could be. The third mark could be him whispering her name. It could be her reading this letter. We don't know.
But I'm worried that trust could also be an issue. It's
Let's
already
read it.
caused to. That's
She doesn't
what
know
we
how it was
decide.
delivered. We can reseal.
And it's not her boyfriend. She's supposed to hate this man.
Got very defensive when she felt that people were overprotective of her before and don't want to cause any more issues. I feel there's already a trust issue now. Kind of looks sadly, kind of at his feet.
Xenacus. She rubs me the wrong way. The way she prodded it to you like you were some kind of creature, abnormality.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if I was clear there. She just had it drawn as she came into the room. She didn't actually go near Xenacus with it.
Oh no, I just meant I'm.
Okay,
That's,
just
yeah, I'm not
you mean
referring to
gesture.
As in, like, she like the moment she found out he was a werewolf who wasn't gonna like tear her throat out, she goes up and is like, "Oh my gosh, you're so cool!" I hate that.
Okay.
Like that banter is against.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna immediately take interest in what Vanta says because I don't think Vanta feels strongly about anyone ever, and I make a note of that to watch behavior too. I'm just like, really, in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who don't understand certain things, certain beliefs, certain ways of life. That extends to creatures, to transformations, to the natural world, everything. And I cannot support someone reacting that way.
I say we read it.
I think we should.
Like that, like Xenacus is holding it, but he's like at the moment he's just kind of like very still right now, and he just looks really like really deeply into like Vanta and like Asara and both of you guys, and just thank you.
She would not protect your privacy. She's already pried. Something you didn't want to say out of you once.
No, that's the first time anyone's just. Never mind. So, we're opening the letter.
Okay. You do. And the parchment unrolls to reveal this.
Sarah has a moment when she's like, "Oh my gosh, you gotta finish your thoughts."
I know. I'm like, how can I let it go because we're opening this letter, but also like we're gonna have a moment later. Back of my head.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Roll 20. Show me this letter, please.
It's in plain text below on the handout if you want to look at it
Oh, okay.
as well.
Amazing.
but it's very pretty.
It's roll 20.
So,
Roll 20 is just a bit slow.
anyone looking at this later on a device that's way too small to read. Dearest Irina, it is with the deepest grief that I learn of the death of your kind and noble father, and especially that it is affecting your young heart beyond all sensation. In this sad world of ours, sorrow eventually comes to all, and to the young it comes with the bittersweet agony, because it so often takes them unaware. Your elders, no doubt, have learned to ever expect it. I am anxious to afford you some alleviation of your present distress. Perfect relief is not possible except with time. You surely realize now that you will never smile again. Is not this so? And yet, it is a mistake. You are sure to be happy again. To know this, which is certainly true, will make you some less miserable now. I have had experience enough to know what I say, and you need only believe it to feel your heart warm once again. The memory of your dear father, instead of an agony, will yet be a sad, sweet feeling in your heart, of a purer and holier sort than you have ever known before. Please present my kind regards to your afflicted brother, your lord, master, and love, Strahd von Zarevich.
Afflicted brother.
Love?
All of her, everyone is just looking at this letter like, the fuck?
Let's stab him.
Get him.
That's not what I was expecting.
John, can I ask a quick question?
Of course.
The Burgomaster, how dead did he look when we buried him?
They told you he'd been dead for, I think it was 3 days, they said.
Cool, but his body, when we were doing the whole do, how was that looking? Wobbly, bloated, pussy, dead?
Yeah, it seems to
Waxy,
display
falling off,
signs that would suggest that
Just
that was
dead.
a true statement. Yes.
I should have checked the cause of death. I didn't have any reason to not believe them. Fuck. Oh my god.
Do we hand this over? It's to be honest, if anything was going to put me off him, it would be this letter. I feel that this would do more for our cause than for any other.
That's a good point.
Hand it over to the brother?
The afflicted brother, whatever that means.
Do we read?
The numbers are worrying.
Did Ismark ever describe Irina as afflicted herself?
I think that letter that the the messenger was carrying used the word afflicted.
Then it's referring to something specific. It's not just a
Could
turn
be
of
that
phrase.
to Strahd himself, affliction is the curse of life.
Perhaps.
God addresses her as love. We can't give this to her.
No.
But what if I'm not going to lie, if I had received a letter like this would put me off that person way more than anything else.
Yeah, it's gross.
I don't trust
For
him.
the record, he referred to her as languishing and dying from an unholy wound. That letter from the Burgermeister didn't refer to her as afflicted.
I was actually meaning. Okay. Oh right. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah. Sorry. I understand what you're saying. Yes. Okay. I don't think we
what's
should.
the consensus? No from Vanta.
She's Vanta. Why don't you like her?
I don't think I dislike her. I'm just indifferent. It was mostly what I saw of her reaction to Xenacus and what came after. And then I think she's found reason to pick fights with me rather than listening to what I'm actually saying, heeding the warnings I give. When I suggested we tie her down, it wasn't an insult to her strength. She is clearly being afflicted by something larger than human body.
Though I understand her uncomfort at the statements,
We should give it to her and measure her response, maybe. Xenacus, maybe I'm gonna, like, this whole time, whenever Asara's been asking about, like, his wolf form and all that jazz, like, she's been prodding and very, like, big sisterish about it, but right now she's very serious and, like, Xenacus, don't give up any more information.
I can assure you I would have given up nothing had the situation. I didn't want to reveal what I revealed. I couldn't let harm come to Vanta.
You promised her a question, and if you can muster it, I think you should lie.
I have no problems with lying. I'm worrying about the trust issues that are already inherently there.
Good point. I think it could be dangerous for Xenacus more than any of us if we give her a reason to distrust anything that Xenacus says.
Just any way of upsetting her is incredibly dangerous for me.
I don't think we should take money for this job.
Oh. Like, and Craig knows how much that hurt Xenacus to say. Like, so much.
Yeah.
Like,
It hurts Asara too. Like, she says that very begrudgingly.
I think that Vanta noticed when Asara was like, how are we getting paid for this?
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I think Irina is a big girl, and I think that she can handle this information. I'm inclined to agree with Xenacus that, I mean, this letter was gross. Like, I don't think it doesn't make me like him anymore. So
Yeah.
he felt so much smoother outside, I'm not going to lie.
My only concern is that whether there is a supernatural force involved that it would influence her decisions in any way. If you don't have that same
magic
concern,
upon the letter.
I would
Give it
thought
to her.
Is that true?
yes, there's no, I couldn't detect any magic on the letter. Why don't we just have her read it in the house?
At this point, you hear Ismak's voice calling up the stairs. My friends, are you ready? You really should hit the road. It's going to get dark. You'll get caught in the woods or worse, in the mountains.
I don't think in the house is an option, y'all.
But
And I'm gonna say before we start to head out, I'm gonna be like, we'll give it to her. I want to see her read it.
Okay.
and he kind of rolls it, kind of rolls it up, puts it back in his jacket. Clearly
reseal
with
it,
it.
perhaps?
He'll do his best, but it's not going to look right.
Nice. So, you head out onto the landing, gathering up your things, and clomp down the stairs to a waiting brother and sister. And you can see that Ismark is talking earnestly with her. Now, they will look after you. And she's like, I'll look after myself. Yes, I know. You're a very good swords wielder. That's not what it's called. Look, stay together. And if anything happens, just head for the nearest town. Vallaki, if possible. Father Donovich said maybe Krisk would be a good option. I'm sorry I can't go. I'm sorry I have to stay here. But you know I must take over where Father left off. And she nods. I know. And don't worry, I'll be safe. With such brave, strong, powerful warriors. She's like, just almost leering at Xenacus.
Who's looking at the floor.
Prig definitely takes
She's
it
not
the
helping
wrong way
us.
and face flex. Like,
and Ismark's like, yes, and like, pats Krug on the shoulder. Yes, powerful indeed. You know, completely missing where she was looking. And he's like, right, well, be sure. He addresses all of you. Be sure you are in cover. You are in shelter before dark. You do not want to be caught on the road, much less in the woods. Promise me.
As long as there's a town around.
Well then.
I'm thinking about how we just got lost in the mist for 10 years, so.
10 years.
So yes, follow the road.
It was a
Go
goal. I'm a
out.
good tracker.
To the southwest.
You did great.
The road will bend round towards the Serpool crossroads, and then onwards toward the mountains. And Elena, you have the map? She's like, yes. Okay. Then, please, keep us safe. And if you can get word to me when you reach Vallaki, please let me know. And
Will we contact?
you can send a message. Talk to the Burgomaster there. Tell him that I am now the Burgomaster. And remember, he owes our father a favor that Irina will be able to remind him of, and he will look after you.
What's his name? If you wouldn't mind.
Just a moment.
Good stuff.
I feel like he's miles away. I haven't looked at that. So I don't. M. What is his name?
Im?
No, that's me going. Okay. So, the Burgomaster. They're called the Valakoviches. So it's Burgomaster Valakovich. Vargas Valakovich.
There's so many V's all over this campaign.
Yes.
Oh my! Your cat is amazing!
You're just lurking in the back. Hello.
He has a half mustache.
Okay. Like he's lurking in Colby's and just lounging in Stephanie's.
I want a cat.
Cats are awesome. Anyway,
Wolf
you
better.
step out once more into the.
I could say as like last moment as Xenacus was leaving, he did turn back to the Burgomaster and goes, "And the pies were in Vallaki, right?"
The old lady, the dream pie merchant.
That's the one.
No, the up in the windmill. It's between here and
windmill.
between here and Vallaki. You can't miss it.
Oh, great! And like definitely like heads towards like their goal with a bit more of a spring in his step.
May the mother look after you all. And you all.
And
Oh, sorry.
and to you as well.
He nods and gives Irina a final embrace, and you all step out onto the streets of the village of Barovia and head out of the buildings to the southwest and down towards the forests once more. Anything you would like to say once you're away from Ismak?
Just looking at Rena. Keep an eye on her.
Craig is
Once-
going to turn to Xenakis and say, like completely unironically, like, how do you think he knows my mother? She's been dead for years.
Irina
She can't.
comes over. She's like, "No, he means the mother of ravens. The goddess from the church in the village.
I see. Okay.
So, please tell me about your mother. Was she similar plumage? And how does it work?"
I'm gonna give
Wait.
a side eye if I am in any kind of shot. I'm gonna give a side eye to Krieg.
I think mostly I got my plumage from my dad.
Okay.
It's so open.
Oh, but
Xenakis is loving this.
my mustache did come from my mother.
Ah,
Yes.
interesting. And this conversation just carries on as you make your way down the road. After a short distance, you come across that bridge that you can see there, and you cross that, and on the other side of the bridge, you see the trees huddling together, looming over the road, as you once again pass under their branches. Now, where is that fantastic picture? Boop. Back into the woods once more. And as you're passing along, you can hear the rain. You can hear the rain dripping off the trees and plopping into the puddles on the road there. And you can see tire marks. You know, that some wagon or something seems to have come this way. Maybe a dream pie cart would be the right direction.
Dots in the distance. The red flashing dots in the distance of freaking me out.
I don't know what you're talking about. They disappear as soon as you pay any attention to them.
But yeah, actually, that's what. Like, as we get into the forest proper, Xenakis would start like focusing and listening, because
Yes,
last time we were out here, we heard a lot of like wolf cries and such, and so he's
indeed.
definitely trying to preoccupy himself by keeping watch.
Okay.
And I do just want to remind everyone that this is favored terrain for Krieg. So,
He loves muddy paths.
like, well, for forests.
More particular. Yes.
So if we're traveling for more than an hour or so, difficult terrain doesn't slow us down.
Okay.
Cool.
And
That's
we
cool.
cannot become lost except by magical means.
Okay.
Which is exactly what this is all about for the mist.
Right, basically, yeah.
The mist here is definitely not the mist that you encountered on the borders of this land. It is patchy and just kind of drifting amongst the trees.
I want Rena to read this letter in the daytime, so I'm gonna look at.
Well, it's before lunchtime at the moment.
Sooner the better, right? I'm gonna look
I
at
would say
Xenakis
so.
and be like,
Yeah, so he's gonna do a quick like listen around. So I got perception. So that is 22.
Okay, great. You hear that wolf that we just heard, but it was quite far away. And
Sorry, I don't
and-
have Firescape anymore because my laptop died.
okay, and Asara, your cuff of the wolf tongue is dry and leathery.
Oh, that's nice. While everyone's kind of getting their bearings, I do also get like double foraging in the forest. So,
Okay.
like, Krieg is going to
Head off
like,
into the trees alone.
dispatch the bugs along the sides of the path.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Give me a survival check.
Oh yeah.
You find poisonous mushrooms, and they look delicious.
That's what she puts in the pie.
Wait, the pies are made of pure gold.
Wow,
Ambrosia.
that sounds awful.
Ambrosia.
Okay. Sorry. How'd you go?
20, dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, you do find various types of berries and mushrooms, as Mike said, and a lot of them are absolutely very deadly. But you do find a fair few that are edible too.
Very nice.
You can gather them up. They'll go well in a pot later on.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of like pull my bag around and like
Yep.
very deliberately separate the dangerous stuff from the edible stuff. Not that Krieg couldn't identify them anyway, but
Yeah. Okay.
Like as Craig's
So-
kind of coming back, and that look that Sarah gave Xenicus, he will pull out the letter and, Arena,
Yes.
there was something that happened at your father's ceremony.
Really? Ismark didn't say anything.
We didn't want to bring it
Yeah,
up in front of him. We didn't want him to be upset, so we had to wait till we got you away from him.
This is gonna ruin my mood. I'm so enjoying being out of the house.
Potentially, but someone came.
Who? Someone from the village?
Someone from, and he kind of just looks up towards the castle.
Okay. For what? What business did they have at my father's funeral?
We asked them to leave, but they asked us to deliver something to you.
To me? Why?
You know why?
Her shoulders slump a bit. Hand it over.
You don't have to read this if you don't want to.
No, come on. Let me see it.
Neil, hand it over.
I see it's been vetted.
As much as your reaction when you first heard about me, you have to understand that you are equally afflicted. We had to-
So good.
I needed to check it for magic too. Just
Well, I thank you for that. And she reads through it. And her face just sours as she reads through that. Those faltering steps and attempts at a love letter, and she's like, "He's no lord, no master, just no love of mine." And she just casts it down into a puddle in the road and just stamps it into the water, and just stomps off.
Because looks to like Asara is like yeah, there's a very slight hint of told this off.
I take my licks. I'm gonna like when he looks at me like that, I'm gonna be like, like all right.
Okay. And you carry on through the trees.
I would pick up the letter and make sure that because I don't want to leave that lying around for someone else to find.
So yeah, you pick up the sodden remains and put that back in your pocket, just shaking it off a
It's
bit.
gonna burn it. It'll burn it at the campfire whenever they get to one. It's just
Okay.
doesn't want to leave that lying around.
No problem. Right, now, after about an hour travel, a much quieter part after you've shown the letter to Irina, she stopped asking questions and insistently asking things, and you see an opening in the trees ahead, and I have a new picture for you. To-doop.
I'm gonna probably have to dip though before we get into the next bit.
We're coming up to the end here. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you emerge into this opening in the trees at the crossroads that you had heard mentioned. And as you step out into the open area, you see an old wooden gallows creaking in the chill wind that blows down from the high ground to the west. A frayed length of rope dances from its beam. The well-worn road splits here, and a signpost opposite the gallows points off in 3 directions. Barovia village, back the way you've come. Sir Pool to the northwest. And Ravenloft, Valaki to the southwest. The northwest fork slants down and disappears into the trees, while the southwest fork clings to an upward slope. Across from the gallows, as you can see, wreathed in the mists, a low wall, crumbling in places, partially encloses a small plot of unmarked graves. 3 of you have seen this crossroads before. In a dream. A dream where Madame Eva bid you come visit her that she might reveal your future via her gift with the Tarokka deck. Irina is the first to speak up. Oh, I wonder when the last time was someone hung here. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm starving. Down that way is Sir Pool, and there is a Vistani camp there. Have you met any Vistani?
Yes.
Yes? Where? Oh, tell me, not at the tavern. Those 3
No.
are horrible.
Oh no. The ones we met were much nicer.
Oh, good. I'm glad you have met. Yes, I just love their music, and they're the only joyous people I've ever met in this land.
I look around and I look around at us like, oh, and then I'm like, yeah, we are sorry sacks right now. Internally, I'm like,
Then we all deserve lunch with the Vistani. What do you say? We'll still make it to
Do we have any
Vlaki.
pies?
I don't know. Let's go find out.
I'm in.
Zenekas is in the idea of let's find out about pies.
Sold.
I stay quiet and just don't want to deter everyone. Like, I don't want to be vocal, but I'm also like, I'm not interested.
But pies is that?
You have a problem.
Azara, come on. We can't march all day.
Yeah, just get pies in our stomachs and we can make our way down.
And Vanta, you remember it was a raven that led you down that path before.
I start walking.
Vanta rushes in.
Yeah.
Everyone.
The weak cleric with the noodle arms. She's like. She's actually fairly strong. She's just weak.
Yes.
I think Zenekas is, funnily enough, the weakest.
Yeah.
Always a good trait in your fighter. So, do you follow Vanta?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will pause once they are like almost out of earshot, and I'll look back to check.
Character growth.
When
Okay.
Santa pauses and looks back to check, I'm like, I start walking.
Brig is much closer than she thought he would be.
Oh,
So,
that's really good.
you all turn to the northwest, where once your dreaming selves, 3 of your dreaming selves, had travelled. And
You guys haven't
thinking.
even mentioned it to Zenekas. He has no idea.
No. And you start walking in that direction. Until behind you,
Oh, my gosh. Oh no.
you hear a sound.
Okay.
Oh.
Sorry, you're missing out on this, Michael. It is a creaking, swinging sound.
Lovely.
What do you do?
I turn around.
I will also.
Okay.
Hyper tuned with sound. So.
You hear a creaking noise behind you and turn. It's coming from the gallows, where there was nothing before. Now hangs a lifeless grey body. You hear Irina's breath catch in her throat as the breeze turns the hanged figure slowly so that it can fix its dead eyes upon you. Asara, Crick, Zenekas. You see what appears to be a Barovian. Similar features, similar clothes to those you'd glimpsed in the village. Vanta.
Okay.
It's you. And we shall stop there.
What? But we don't know that she sees her.
See that? Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Oh my god.
Thank you,
Oh my
everybody.
God.
Nice to be back in Barovia.
Oh,
my God.
I love I love this game, man.
This is like real good. Stop the creaking now.
Okay.
I'll need to find out what that, rewatch that part just to get the experience with the sound.
Yeah, Michael, come down here after.
Baller. Glorious.
Instant replay. Slow motion replay.
Instant replay.
Right. Thank you, everybody. And thanks for those that
Thank you.
jumped in and watched. Thanks for joining us. I hope you are enjoying the chilling and creepy love letters of Strahd
Horrifying love.
By far the scariest thing in this whole module.
Oh yeah. I mean, like he was so much smoother when we met him. Like,
But you know how it is when you it's your crush. You don't know what to say. You get tongue tied,
you
Tongue-
think too much about what you're saying. You're trying to write.
quill tied.
It's what is it? Incel Strahd versus
Chad von Varovich.
Yeah.
We shall see. We shall see how it plays out. So, thank you, everyone, and I shall see you soon. Bye.
Bye.